There is only one Indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is
land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect
championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever.
Yes, once again, good morning, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill around the globe. Good morning, Nigerians. And I say good morning to the global community. This is Radio Biafra Extra. And with every degree of certainty are reaching out across the global community, all the way from Biafra land. Radio Biafra Extra is anchored by the Biafran Human Rights and Freedom Radio platform. This is the embodiment of pro-Biafran group under the leadership of Alhaji Asare Dokubo and deputized by our sister Rita Anebogo. And of course, the platform is minded by our brother Jokpa Uche Ukafo Mefo. I acknowledge every member of the de facto customary government. I acknowledge every member of the Biafra Nation Alliance. I acknowledge Biafrans across the globe, and every group or organization out there who are fighting one way or the other to ensure that the instrument of subjugation, emasculation, oppression is lifted up from Biafra land, the most endangered species of Homo sapien here on earth. And you see, somewhere we are able to pretend as if all is well. And of course, it is 55 days, 4 months when this genocide happened in Biafra land. 55 years ago and 4 months, couple of days and some minutes an hour, abomination happened in Biafra land. Today is the 30th of May 2022, and it is expected that we do the needful by calling to the attention of the global community that the mindset, the reason behind that genocide that happened in Biafra land, which the world never spoke about, is still lingering. And of course, to awaken the consciousness of our people to understand that is either will stand up and save our lives, or else all of us will perish. I remain George ONYIBE, and I hail from Agbo, Delta State, and Yoma province of Biafra land. I acknowledge the Creator who has made the heavens and the earth and has set our feet upon this path that we must follow. Whatever we do here, you must understand, it is not we who have chosen this path, but he who presides in heaven, he who lives in heaven and presides over the affair of man. He remains our guide, he remains our hope, he remains that primordial influence that drives us. And of course, we do not have that power of our own. And I thank him once again. This morning, we will go across, I should say, a marathon broadcast. It is going to come from every stable of the de facto customary government. We cannot forget that these are pro-Biafran group. Of course, with different ideology, different method of initiation. And we, at this point in time, may not holistically agree with each other's method. But one thing remains as the ultimate truth. We are oppressed, and we need to get out of this very situation and circumstance. A very precarious one we have found ourselves. Today is the 30th of May once again. And it is 18 minutes after the hour of 7 here in Biafra land. Let us look at this topic that I titled, Why We Must Remember the Generation of Biafrans, 1967 to 1970. There is a unique reason why they must be remembered. Let us go through the memory lane, and hopefully the Creator will be able to touch the mind of these instruments, these people He has placed aside from within and outside Biafra land, who has the capacity to liberate our people. It is either we save our life once again, or we are perish. The people of Biafra have over the decades acknowledged this day, the 30th of May, as a memorial day because of its significance. Memorial Day to Biafrans is a holiday for mourning Biafrans who have died to save our lives, and that of those who died in the process. The generation of Biafra as we speak do not have vital knowledge of this information we are about to disclose. And to some of them, unlike other competent nations that makes up Nigeria, they think we are lying. They think this is not the truth. And honestly, we may have given them the privilege, the opportunity to think that way. But this morning we come to reassure you, Biafrans and non-Biafrans alike, that this quest is real. This agitation must continue until we find ourselves in our homeland, where we were before the imperialists came. I do not blame the Yoruba or the Hausa who would not understand why we are doing what we are doing, because most of them did not even know there was a war, not to talk of knowing that it was a genocidal war. Life was normal in Lagos. Life was normal in Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Sokoto, except from this eastern region, supposedly in Nigeria. A lot of our people have died even before this very moment, 1967. It was as a result of this indiscriminate killing, which cannot be justified, that has led us here. I would not want to waste my time to begin to look into the issue of about women riot, or what led to the death of our people in the coal mining in Enugu City. Must I begin to tell us what gave birth to the very Igbo coup, and why people like Aguyorosi have to pay with their life, to mention but a few? And of course, we lost brothers on both sides. The Northerners were killed, the Westerners was killed, the Biafrans were killed. But because the external enemy who influences this process would not allow us to know the truth, we still hate each other for it. Though we pretend under the guise of religion, simplicity, and normal human being, and hate this truth from our people. We have all been wounded. We can only come together, acknowledge each other's stand, and then heal ourselves once again. The northern Nigerian, you can struggle as much as you like. You will not keep us down, because this union, we both know your father is a testament to this fact, that we are not the same, but we are all human. The Westerner, I will say, Awolowo knew this truth. He prophetically spoke that this Nigerian British government created, it's like oil and water which can never miss. But to protect certain interests, economical interest, it has to be this way. It is God who has created the universe and placed boundary for each of them. Everything around us speaks volume of this truth. Let me tell you one truth you already know. In Nigeria, for instance, considering the three major ethnic nations that are coupled, forced to coexist, our livestock are not the same. Hausa yam is different from Igbo yam. Igbo yam is different from Yoruba yam. Don't you get it? Our goat, chicken, Hausa goat dog is different from Igbo goat and dog and that of Yoruba. Even the food we eat. We didn't make this. God made it so. But it doesn't make any of us less than human. We're still human. And we will remain human in the end. But let this very day make each and every one of us, the international or global community who has hand in the complete subjugation of the people of Biafra. I think it is time to rethink. You can still have the oil and gas among other natural resources. Free of charge. You will not need to steal them. The Hausa, the Yoruba must understand. We still be human. The last time I checked, even in the absence of Nigeria. But this is the time we must decide to put values in our very life. Most especially that of the next generation. And so, it is this unrest, political unrest, challenges, uprising, public outcry regarding marginalization, nepotism, tribalism, corruption that gave the formation to noble men like Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, who understand that this world cannot be built by borders and uprising, and there is need for everybody to take a bow and say farewell to Nigeria. The situation at hand in that very era was beyond his control, but at least he could do something. He moved on with Gowon to Aburi in Ghana, where the issues of indiscriminate killing of our people has become the order of the day, to see how this killing could be put to an end. They had their discussion, which is meant for another day. And at the end of the agreement, it would have led to restructuring of Nigeria. And most people clamor for the same restructuring. To the best of my knowledge, everything Ojukwu did, he wanted Nigerian to be restructured. Maybe under the federation, allowing each component member to be the author of their destiny. Maybe today we will be crying or clamoring for a wider restructuring program, which enable over 1,000, I can tell you categorically, 1,000 ethnic nationalities, though Nigeria recognize only 250. But they can create a platform where we will all allow to exist uniquely. We are made differently, uniquely. Whether beautiful or ugly, it is God's idea. And then I want to believe the world would have encountered a world they are yet to dream of. We exist, and we are part of the wonders of God's creation. But after every discussion to restructure Nigeria, that I may love my fellow Hausa brother and then my fellow Yoruba brothers and sisters, that as black race that we are, we can come together to build a future which the next generation will be proud of us, and of course contribute our own quota of positive human development to the rest community. It all failed. Gowon refused to announce the outcome of the Aburi Accord. The killing continued, and Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, a lieutenant in the Nigerian army then of blessed memory, decided to hold the bull by the horn and ask the people of Biafra to return home. Today is a memorial day to remember those who have died as a result of this single action. We were informed, or personally, I was taught in school then when history was not removed from the school curriculum. We were taught that the cause of the Nigerian Biafran war was as a result of personality clash between Ojukwu and Gowon. Until this day, I keep asking this simple question. Could the personality clash between two individuals lead to the death of millions and millions in millions, and yet many more are dying as we speak. That is a historical question. But the process, the system, have to keep us under this umbrella of lies. And maybe with that intention that they can make this pain go away. But this pain cannot go away. This issue cannot be swept under the carpet. Because the very pain, sorrow, and agony of our ancestors, fallen heroes and heroines, they cry out to us day and night. And it is as if it is just happening. And so today, we have to remember them. We have to remember them because it was on this very day, 30th of May, we choose this day to remember them. Because Dim Chukwuemeka Odimegu Ojukwu declared the sovereign state of Biafra. And having declared this sovereign state of Biafra, secession from the Nigerian state, Nigerians feel, as directed by the British government, that Nigerian created by Frederick Lugard, a mercenary imported from India to come and colonize us, take over our very life, must remain one. And I can assure you, British government is ready to kill all of us to make sure Nigeria remain one. And at this very moment, 30th of May, when Biafra was declared, he gave birth, he led to the death of many. Today we must remember them. Because as a result, this very 30th of May, millions of our people, they died. They died for this declaration. They were killing our people from every corner outside eastern region, which is the Biafra land. Many of them took to their heel, running back to the land of their ancestors. They never made it home. Nigeria will not want to talk about this. Nobody will want to talk about this. But one thing they fail to understand, they feel the injury has been healed. But we still see the scars. We still see the damage done to us. And the most horrible aspect of it is that those who have done this to us as a people, they want us to assume it does not happen. They want to threaten us, harass us, intimidate us unto subjection, complete submission. And so we cannot remember them. But I thank God it is not in their place to make that decision. But before them, there are 5 things I must remind Biafrans across the world this very day. That there are 5 things we cannot do today. Number 1 is that today, do not wish anybody happy Memorial Day. No. Because a lot of Biafrans, people of conscience, those who understand that we are the most endangered species, Gowon told the world through the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, they lied to the world. They didn't say it's a war. Gowon said the tactics to undermine and bring Biafra nation into subjection is referred to as police action. And so they took police action against the people of Biafra. And as a result, we have record of people who have died. But I stand to be corrected. But I tell you with evidence that we have, none of them is correct. The number exceed what we can see. Nigerians acknowledge they killed 2 million. Sometimes they say 1 million. We constantly remind the world that over 3.5 million innocent women and children died. I'm not telling you about adult men. When we talk about 3.5 million, we're talking about women and children. To mention but a few. Considering what happened that day. and then I see you and I say, Happy Memorial Day. Are we supposed to be happy that our sisters were raped? Those who are pregnant, they cut off their womb and bring out the baby from their womb and also sacrifices to their God. Are we supposed to be happy that our fathers were killed and our young ones was forced into the army? Our tribal men were forced to fight against one another. It's a problem we have not been able to unravel. And that is why each time the component nation, ethnic nationality that makes the Biafran, they have resentment against one another. It's a sickness. We're still trying to heal ourselves from this wound. For instance, the Ogoja and the Duma, our kingsmen, we are rounded up, given arm, and meant to kill their own brother. And the Igbos who have this knowledge, most of them who witness this atrocity, it's very difficult to forgive the Duma, the Igala, and let's say the Ogoja, for instance. But the Ogoja who witnessed this horrible moment did not have the privilege to explain themselves to their kinsmen, to their brothers. It is said that you move into the battlefront and kill your own brother, your own kinsman, or you die in the process. Evidence abound on the internet. Just that the narrative is systematically being changed, because we are not truly the gatekeeper of our land. Are we going to wish each other Happy Memorial Day because our land was destroyed? Because a cross-section of the global community supported this genocide, until today they are struggling to make sure we do not talk about it? Are we supposed to rejoice that majority of our women were taken as exploit of the war and then later shared among the 11 generals? And without apology, with every humility, and believing that these people who commit this atrocity, most of them are still alive, will allow their reasoning to be guided by their conscience. And each time we say Miriam Babangida, she's a spoil of war. Each time we talk about this 11 general, we know what happened. Am I supposed to be happy about the humiliation? Am I supposed to wish you Happy Memorial Day, having been deceived that there will be rehabilitation, reconstruction, among others? And so today, don't tell any Biafran that you're wishing them Happy Memorial Day. Don't think that as we speak, that it's not important to remember this day. Do not disregard its importance. A lot of people will say it's not important. It is very important to remember this day. It is by the time we talk the story, the history of warriors who fought to defend your land, and that is the moment you give birth to emerging heroes who will defend your land in the future. Some people say, don't talk about them. It can only bring us pain and sorrow. This memory will not lead us anywhere. And if you indulge under this canopy with that intention, you don't want to get people upset, we don't have to talk about it, you make a very wrong mistake to the detriment of your people supposedly you love. Don't let anybody tell you it is not important. Most of you are going about your normal business and life seems to be normal for you. A day will come where men and women will be called upon to defend that which we are. They will not come. Because as we treat these foreign heroes and heroines, both those ones that are dead and the ones that are alive, it is a perfect reflection. It is that very aspect of humanity spiritually that impregnate the next generation to be willing to lay down their life over and over and over again to defend Biafra. Considering who these people were, more than 90% of those who stood shoulder by shoulder with Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu from across the competent nation that makes up Biafra were not military men. And if we talk about even Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, he was a civil servant. Considering the level of illiterate we have in the Nigerian army, I think he would be of service as a highly intelligent man as of that era to serve in the military. I will not go on the guise of trying to tell you that he was one of the most enlightened, educated Nigeria in the Nigerian military. And of course, without digressing any further, we are fully aware that General Muhammadu Buhari did not go to school. General Yakubu Gowon did not go to school. General Olusegun Obasanjo did not go to school. General Ibrahim Babangida did not go to school. General late Sani Abacha did not go to school. Do we begin to talk about General Shiniko and General? They never go to school. And they say, don't remember them. And they give us what to remember about them. It is unfair to call them rebel, and you want us to remember it. It is unfair to call them saboteur, and you want us to remember that. It is unfair to call them sensationalists, but you want us to remember that they wanted to divide our dear nation. If this nation is dear to us, are we truly dear to this nation? And now, I do not stand here this morning to accusation blame to anybody. We have all been wounded, and this is the truth. And this is the time for us to recongregate and heal ourselves. It is very important. And as far as we exist, there are Biafrans alive today. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise about the 30th of May. So what do? We remember them. When we remember the great things they have done, and we understand that they are our fathers, our ancestors, from the alliance we came forth, we will first of all discover that we have the capacity to do what they have done and even do more. We will remember that they fought that we might live. It gives you a sense of feeling that your life, after all, what more than they want you to believe it is. And what is my pride today? If I have glory, what do I glory in? If I be proud that I'm a Biafra, what makes me proud? Other than the memory of these fallen heroes and heroines. Considering the fact that it was them against the world. And when I mean them against the world, not everybody have hand in this genocide, but most people were ignorant. And today, they judge us by what they hear from the international media, the very people who initiated this very demonic process. And I say the world against us. But of course, I will not fail to acknowledge some of the countries like Ivory Coast who understand what went on that era and give us the necessary support. Let's know that despite the fact the world was against us, these men knew the danger. They fought economically. They printed their currency within 3 years. They fought technologically. They were able to manufacture their own rocket launcher, guided it, create means of communication, telegram, telefax, as the case may be, without contacting any external or internal world. Today you hear of fire. These are part of their legacy and agreement. There are histories that these people were so technologically advanced, even in a dark age, that they could generate self-sustainable energy from virtually everything around them. They drove automobile with coconut water. They drove automobile with crude oil, which they know nothing about. They were able to separate the diesel from the aviation fuel to the petrol itself, as it is popularly called, and of course, even kerosene. We do not have refinery in Nigeria today, but we have the technical know-how. Without going to China, Japan, we're still doing that. The next generation must understand that with less than 37 guns, they choose to defend this territory. Many of them were willing to die. I want to know why. In a Nigerian that is properly armed, have allies who can sink the world in a twinkle of an eye, and then my brothers, my fathers, my mothers, my sisters, most of them, it looks stupid, but beyond that stupidity, I see love. Even if it is firewood, even if it is stone, even if it is broken bottle, they want to make sure that if indeed they must die, if indeed they must die, they will decide how it's going to be. And the same very stand we reiterate before you today. We don't want to take that which belongs to another. And if we must die, we will tell you how it's going to be. And of course, in that dying moment, we'll be proud that indeed we served. I understand this feeling. I remember perfectly well when I was adopted by the DSS. It was very complicated. I thought I was going to talk to my clients. I was supposed to give them quotation. Only at the dying moment to discover that these people were DSS. I was to be arrested. Why? Because I say I'm a Biafra, which is not an offense for a Westerner in Nigeria to say they are Oduduwa or Arewa. But I knew I could have been killed. And when I was locked up in an isolated cell, naked for 60 days, without access to anybody, I knew I could have died. And at that moment, I have a son which is less than 4 months old. And he didn't know me. And if I die, my son knew nothing about me. And those who know me would have very little memory of me. I would have died, and there are a lot of things to regret. And I could say then, my wife don't have access to any of my property. And so if I die, she may not be able to even get a dime from me. It was very horrible. This was that moment. If I could turn the hand of clock backwards, I will make sure I spend more time with my family. And I thank God I have that privilege today. And there were reasons for me to go mad there. There were reasons for me to break down there. The frustration was high. But at the moment of thinking about my failure, my inability to stand up to my responsibility, my whole life was set before me. But you see, one thing gave me the courage to live on. And that is what brought me here, Biafra. Did I serve faithfully? Yes. And if I have to die on this path, does it worth it? And I say yes. And the moment I have this thought that I have not betrayed anyone, the moment I have this thought that I have not done anything outside this struggle except to remain in this struggle, I receive strength from above. My head did break down. The past was very dim and my future mangles. But I say, I keep living because of the memory of that which is greater than me, and that is Biafra. On this very day, you must not forget that these people existed. Do not forget that they existed. When you talk about Biafra, some people will use this language. I don't blame you this morning for it. Biafra of a 10. What do you mean by Biafra of a 10? It used to make me very angry. But with time I understand that is the line or way of their own communication. They don't really mean to undermine the Biafran people, but that is just an easy way of expression for them. It's not Biafra of a 10. They existed. It doesn't matter your narrative to the very purpose which they lived, which they died. but they were there. We cannot forget them. Today there are battles going on. A lot of history is coming up to change our thoughts regarding Biafra. But I can assure you, they are dead on arrival. Some will say Biafra is a Portuguese name. The colonial master gave to us. I'm not disputing it. It could be a Portuguese name. It's okay. But did we answer Biafra? Yes. Did we die because of Biafra? Yes. Do we have a name before Portuguese, for instance, gave us Biafra? Yes. Were we living peacefully, harmoniously? Yes. Were we a people? Yes. And so something is still missing. Who are we? This day, let it guide you on this path. And if indeed Biafra is rubbish, we are not Biafra, why has Nigeria spent so money for over 40 years or 55 years trying to obfuscate that name Biafra? Why? In my first 17 years on this earth, with the knowledge of Nigerian geographical map, within 7 years, it was changed 3 different times. And I understand Nigerian paid huge amount of money to global map society to change everything. And they are still doing it till today. I will not want to spend much time on that aspect. But I can assure you, if you are listening today, the map of Nigeria you know today is not the real map of Nigeria. It is manipulated to make you feel you don't exist. When they give you the distance between Biafra land and the northern Nigeria, even the western Nigeria, it looks like Biafra land is just one plot. But it's okay. Land have boundary. And if the map said Biafra land we're talking about is 1 square meter, I think we can find a way to survive there. What am I trying to tell you? Why are they spending so much resources to remove the bite of Biafra? Why did they remove it? Let it be there. Let's remember that Portuguese came and looked at us, for instance, and said, you people, let's say Biafra mean cow. And then the Portuguese came and said, you people will be called cow till today. And they mounted the signboard. But now we will tell Portuguese, before you call us cow, who are we? A lot of arrangements are being done. We still feel this evil. We want to deny it. I think I'm tired of living a life of denial. And if I say I'm a Biafra, you raise your eyebrow for me, my own fellow Nigerian. But it's okay for you to tell me that you are Oduduwa and you are Arewa. It's on the face of every piece of newspaper. And a group of Nigerians will come and say, we the Arewa, we the Arewa, we issue order, we the Arewa, we decree, we the Arewa, we demand. And then yet from the same Nigeria, some will say, we the Oduduwa, this is what we have resolved to do. We the Oduduwa, it is going to be like this. And then when I come and say, we the Biafrans, they shoot me. Till tomorrow morning, we the Biafrans, I will be arrested. Must I digress to tell you, we have over 7,000 Biafrans, men and women, extrajudicially adopted, and most of them have been there for almost 5 years and still counting, without access to a legal defendant, and they may even have to spend there 10 years or peradventure the rest of their life. I have their record to certain extent, not just within Biafra land, but even in the north and in the west. And it has come to that habit of now arresting them and taking them anywhere. And then somebody say, don't remember them, don't talk about them, it's okay, you can build a better Nigeria. But this is unfair. And my people will say, You cannot beat a child and say to that child, don't cry, don't cry. You may be able to muzzle that child from opening the mouth to shout and cry. But I tell you, even the child cannot control it. He will mourn. Though he may not, because of your oppression. And so, fellow Nigerian, supposedly, you have beaten us. It's not in your place to tell us not to cry. Because even though we don't want to cry, still we see ourselves doing it. And so if we see ourselves doing what we really don't want to do, it means we are not the one doing it. There is a power bigger than us, beyond our knowledge, that is doing it through us. Can't you understand and allow God to have his way? Don't let them tell you it cannot be remembered. No. No. If they will spend money to blackmail the image, the name Biafra, if they will spend money to obliterate the name Biafra, if our only crime is that we answered Biafra, I think we reserve the right to know why all this is there. And I tell you, on this very day, don't let politics keep you from rendering respect. These are things I don't want you to do on this day. Don't let politics prevent you from rendering respect to them. Our governors are out there, and this very day they will pretend today does not mean anything to them. But it's unfair. It's unfair. If you do the right thing, you will be accepted. Do the right thing. I know in name of a lot of leaders from within our region and even outside our region. I was not even born when they ruled our land. But I tell you, their actions, their service to our people, I can assure you that their names will be on the lips of endless generation. For their deed and action will last beyond the pyramids of Egypt. Should I tell you about Simon Bakwe? I'm not sure I was born when he was a governor, God knows. Or maybe I was very small. But I've traveled Imo State. I've seen most of his best men then trying to bring about development among others. A lot of current day politicians are trying to destroy his legacy. But let me remind you, these people are gone. And I think they should rest in peace wherever they are, that they did their best. Must I remind you about Ambrose Ali? They are gone. Must I talk about Ekane Biam or Ejike Mbono? Must I tell you what this extraordinary human did? And yet, there is nothing much left for them and their generation unborn. They did it. Not having faith in what they see, what they feel they gain, but doing everything they have to do for the sake of the next generation. Today you are a governor from the Biafran territory. You are a minister, members of the House of Rep, local government chairman, councillor. You occupy place of authority. And to be politically correct and to be a friend of the Yoruba and the Hausa, you're going to pretend it never existed. But let us reiterate one simple truth. It is not the hatred of Yoruba that drives me. It is not the hatred for Hausa that drives me. It is not the hatred of the British government that drives me. No, it is simply the love I have for Biafra. And so when you sit back there, today is 30th of May. I will encourage you, if you are listening to this broadcast, go home. Spend a moment. Have a quiet time with yourself. Reflect on what they represented. All of them cannot be wrong. If Dinchukwemeka Ojukwu was wrong, I do not think General Philip Effiong will risk his entire future generation and did what he did. You think going to Lagos and handing over the sovereign state of Biafra to the Nigerian state was just a jolly must be good journey? He knew he would have died. But based on his position in the Biafran government, nobody would have been able to do what he did logically. And he called men and said, I will be going to hand over the sovereign state of Biafra to the Nigerian state. He who fights and run away, live to fight another day. Dame Chukwemeka, now you have to leave. But promise me, you will protect my family. Why would a man make such request except he knew he was not going to come back? But why he was willing, why General Philip Effiong was willing to die for this Biafra, there are other people out there who would improvise. If he die, if he fall, he will not be the only one who will fall. They were willing to touch that which is dear to Nigeria, the very heart of Nigeria, beyond, in fact, they were ready to commit that crime. How many of us do remember General Philip Effiong today? We must remember them. He went to Lagos in the midst of friends and fools alike. He handed over the sovereign state of Biafra under the control of Nigeria. He was allowed to come back alive because noble men out there, Onwatuegu, noble men out there, people like Achuse, noble men out there, my veterans who are alive today know better. With the negotiation of the POW, prisoners of war head across the Biafran land. That is the exchange they made to allow General Philip Effiong to return home. And for the rest of his life, he lived in isolation. What am I saying? He turned down political position. He turned down contract. Until his dying moment, he lived with one thought and one thought alone. And that is, as a Biafran soldier, general, I was never defeated in army. And I remain. Little wonder you now know why Nigerians don't honor him nor talk about him. A very brilliant young man. We must remember them. So if you are politicians, they are the one who has created this table and given us reasons to live again. It is true, everything that happened to us in the course of this war were actually meant to destroy us. But that is not the will of man. And somebody will say, they thought they could bury us. They never knew we were seed. And now we grow. So don't let politics somewhere along the line to make you and say, oh, it doesn't concern us. And you call us riffraff. And then you look and say we are criminals. And then you look for derogated word to undermine our stance. No. Don't be part of them. Some of you know the truth. You speak the truth, but sentimentally, don't be part of them. Let us remember them. For the people of Biafra to understand the significance of these days, it is important that we move on to review how it came about and then why we must remember them. Today is the 30th of May, 2022. Heroes and Heroines Remembrance Day. Number one, what led to this war? You can't just move on. What led to this war? I've seen a lot of things that are not okay in my family. And I don't question the decision that implement such action. But then, I want to know what gave birth to such idea. Let me give you another instance. When I was of age and having access to my family members, as large as they are, And I discover that they don't have native name. And I check. The first son is Benson. And then the second son is Julius. And then the third son is Christopher. And Maria. And all of them. And as I speak till today, my father is not dead. He's still alive. He don't have native name. One day I said to him, Father, what is your native name? He looked at me and he laughed. It's a story for another day. And he told me, this is what happened. Years of years of years of years. This is what happened. I won't tell you what happened. And so all those years, having spent generation after generation with the Jewish Hebrew family in Bende State, Warri to be precise. And then came Mobogo, one of the descendants of ONYIBE, and placed the entire family under oath and say, our journey with these people end here. If I die, every of our mothers were placed under oath. You must take our children back home. He said, you see, having spent all our times with these Jewish people, these Israelites, he took over our identity. And that is why, my son, we don't have native name outside their father name. But I thank God that era is gone. And so today, if you are discriminated because you are Igbo, and you think somewhere along the line you're going to, by impression, correct it, it's okay. We have faith you can do that. But I think it is more important you find out, why will you underrate me because I'm Igbo? And if you call us miscreant or whatever because of Biafra, it's okay. But it's more important you find out, why would I be addressed this way? And may I say, if I am honored for doing what I'm doing, it's still very important I find out what makes people honor me. And so the people of Biafra cannot just jump in and listen to every form of story coming because of Biafra, because there are different testaments, some for and others against the Biafra agenda. And so we ask ourselves, the supposedly Nigerian Biafra war, which was actually genocide, what led to it? Because we are remembering that what led to it. What led to the war? And now the Igbos doubted that Nigeria's oppressive military government would not allow them to develop their land or even survive. The Igbos, listening very carefully, they doubted that the Nigerian oppressive military government would not allow them to develop their own land or even survive. They doubt. Why did they doubt? They were indiscriminate killing. They supposedly Chukwumanzogo Igbo coup led to the deaths of many Northerners and Westerners. I'm not happy that people like Tafawa Balewa died in that cause. But till today, what led to that very Igbo coup, supposedly, was never discussed. And so Nigerians should prepare for more Igbo coup in the nearest future. But if it were discussed and analyzed, we will be able to separate the flesh from the bone. And like the fish, know how we engage on all process. But you cannot talk about it. The Igbos have to be guilty for everything. What led to the war? And so, noble men, I give it to them this morning, having been slain, the Hausa Fulani feel something is wrong here. How could they have killed only Hausa and maybe a couple of Yoruba? And Igbo man started the coup, Chukwuma Kaduna and Zogo from Delta State. And then Igbo man seized the government of the day, Aguiyi-Ironsi, Abia State. And somewhere along the line, it looks like they were planned. But now they know the truth, but they won't tell us the truth. And so in the course of revenge, Aguiyi-Ironsi was murdered. His first son escaped death on that very day. Many other Igbos were slaughtered across Nigeria. And it becomes unbearable. We are remembering all of them today. And then Dim Chukwuemeka of blessed memory said to the people, because as a governor of the Eastern region, he has a reasonable access to information, communication across Nigeria, and said, Biafrans, come back home. Ndibu especially, come back home. We do not know how long this onslaught will last. We do not know what the agenda is. Come back home. Let us heal ourselves. Come back home. Let us see how we can solve this problem and move ahead. May I have to remind you that most of them didn't get back home. Some successfully went home, got home. And the next thing was that the whole of Biafran territory was surrounded. It was surrounded. The first gun was shot in Calabar. Who were they looking for? That is how it started. They doubted that the oppressive military regime under Gowon would not allow them to develop or even survive. And that is why in most cases we tell you they want our land, but they don't want us. You can see the Islamic agenda unfolding itself on a daily basis. And so on May 30th, 1967, I will say Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu and other non-Igbo representatives, get it right, and other non-Igbo representatives of that area, Biafran territory, established the Republic of Biafra, comprises of many states in Nigeria. And as a result of these actions, millions died. Biafra is not about Igbo, but just that some people who are void of reasoning want to make it Igbo. And in the process trying to do this, you discredit other people. It's not fair. But I do not judge you. It's not fair. When you have, for instance, a governor, you have a deputy, it is unquote the character of how we live as a people. You hide the deputy. You look as if they don't exist. But I tell you, they are your spare tire. Even though you look they are irrelevant. But they are very relevant. Because their duty is simple. They become the only source that will keep you going when you lose your capacity. It's just like the issue of mother and father. Father like take all the glory and all the glory. But I tell you, without mother, there's no father. Why am I bringing up this? Other national ethnicity within this region came together. Of course, time for consultation was not much favorable to them, but they did come together and they said, let us declare our own country. I want to believe in the normal circumstance. What stops the Hausa Fulani with the advancement, having Dangote as one of the richest black men alive? But of course, even though Dangote was not there then, we have Dan Kabu and we have Dan Tata. Running down to the lineage of Dangote, you see, those Dan Tata and Dan Kabu may have been more richer 100 times than Dangote. And so they have all it takes to survive. Why can't they say in that case we declare our own Arewa nation? The Yoruba have highly influential, intelligent people. And only Awolowo would have been able to help them set up a stable that will build one of the most advanced nations in Africa. At least unite with their family member outside Nigeria, Benin Republic and Ghana, to mention but a few. the Oduduwa Empire would have been great. So what stopped them from declaring their own? But no, there is a truth they are not telling you. And that very reason, the Oduduwa and the Arewa said, no, we must get these people. We could dabble into reason why they collaborated. The influence of the British government, and then some other lies they tell you to justify their actions, but not today. We look into them another day. As a result of this decision, millions of people died. That is what led to this war. Allow us to be. It's as simple. And so when they tell you every cock and bull story, I don't think Dim Chukwumeko Dimegu Juku actually said, let's go and fight Nigeria. He said, let us come back home to save our life. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? We're still calling on our people. Get ready. Prepare yourself. Referendum may come. Prepare yourself. Biafra must be restored. Prepare yourself. Is that a crime? And if indeed every of our statement regarding the conspiracy behind the Biafran restoration project, if we are to be lied, Nigeria would have done otherwise. The marginalization continue. The subjugation is on the increase. The harassment and intimidation, extrajudicial killing, and our right being scrapped completely. Just look at the ongoing presidential election. You can see the embargo that is placed on the Biafrans. All of you will just spend the money meant for you to develop Biafra land and trying to be a president. Have you not heard about the name of your currency? Naira. Never, never allow Igbo to rule again. Never allow Igbo rule again. But it's okay. Number two reason why we must remember them. One or A on that angle. It is our culture and tradition to remember dead people. It's our culture. Normally we don't desecrate life. We have value for life. In most cases, 7 days after burial, some people do Remembrance Day. But because of hardship, most of this culture are dying gradually, and some people think it doesn't matter. My brother, it matter. Some people, after they have died maybe 100 years, 70 years, there are people say, let's do Remembrance Day. I used to hear news in those days that, oh, this grandmother, oh, that grandmother is disturbing. They didn't do remembrance for them. I'm not trying to analyze spirituality here, but I'm telling you, there is need to remember these people. If we want to look at why we must remember them, I can speak the whole of the day without being able to exhaust this very discussion. It is in our culture. Remembrance Day, we do that alongside on the burial day, or another day is feast. Remembrance Day. You know this person have done well. You know this person has done wrong. And then, with a tribute, it can help you fashion out your way ahead. And I can tell you, this generation, we don't have any reason to feel not to restore Biafra. Because everything we actually need has been made readily available for us by their action. Because it is their action that actually define who we are. Number two, why we must remember them, is because we must remember why they died, as it can help us to guide the actions of the next generation. If we know why they died, it can help us serve as a guide in what we are doing. Today, what is our offense? Have we attacked Abuja? Today, as a Biafra, what is your offense? But I mean, what is your offense? For my son to score 1,000 to enter Nigerian university, and then Yoruba can score 600, and then Hausa can score 40, and be in the same class with my son. It's a crime. And what is my offense? For my name to betray me, and because I'm from this section of Nigeria, and I am considered a second-hand citizen or fourth-hand citizen. It's a crime for certain people to want to impose their culture on us, take our life forcefully by decree, because Nigeria, the last time I checked, is still under the influence of decree. It's a crime. In the absence of justice, fairness, and equity, it's a crime against the people. And leaders who are not ready to redeem accountability as of when necessary, it's a crime to the people. The promoters of nepotism, tribalism, corruption, this is a crime against the people. And so we must remember these people to help us serve as a guard. They're afraid they will be killed, so they defended their land. Are we still not being killed today? They are afraid Nigeria will not allow us to develop. Is it not still happening today? We border with the Atlantic Ocean, but yet we don't have seaport. Thank God Lagos State have the same status. But then you go to north that bordered with Sahara Desert. They even have desert seaport or desert sand beach. How do we call it? They call it dockyard. That is how bad it is. And somebody is going to tell me, but we have ONYIBE. ONYIBE was built to service Intel, Atiku company, who in charge is, in fact, is the influence behind petrochemical, Indoroma, Intel, to mention but a few. It does not exist for any of you. And of course, Dangote is benefiting from there. Not for the people of Biafra. So what is our crime? You see why they died. We can go on and on. Our place must be developed. And then somebody is going to tell you it's your politicians. I partially agree. But there is more beneath that the eye can see. Number 3. It is the actions that define who we are. We must remember them. Because it is their action that defines who they are. A little wonder how people will call somebody and say Omeka Naya. And when that name is given to you, it means you are okay. You are good to go. Let me use that language. You are good to go. You can't be a loser and somebody say Omeka Naya, except your father is a loser anyway. But I know that name is not associated to failure. And let's assume your father did well and they call you Omeka Naya in your community. It boosts your morale. You now receive this mindset, orientation, to step not into your father's shoe alone, but beyond your father's thought nor achievement. It is their actions that defines us. And when we make mistakes, somebody will say, this is not the way your father would have reacted. It guides you back. And look at who we are today. If the generation of 1967 who we are remembering today did not run away with their tails behind their back, shivering into submission, why do you think we were going to submit for any form of harassment or intimidation? If against all odds they choose to stand for the truth, and that's part of righteousness, why do you think you're going to have a different response from us? And the last time I checked, if they are bad and God is merciful, we will be as bad as they are, just very little better than them. But I can tell you, and that is if grace speaks. But if they are good, if they are strong, it is applicable. It is the same thing. And so we are who they are. And then number 4, this is to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge that people who put their life on the line, they fought to defend us. But you will not understand. When we tell you horrible story that happened within Delta State, or do I say Bender State, or do I say Anyoma Province, you will weep. You will weep. We must acknowledge Asaba Massacre. We must acknowledge Ahara Declaration. We must acknowledge the Abagana Seto. We must acknowledge Achuze and his men, Onwatuigu and his men. We must acknowledge that these heroes and heroines, these veterans, dead or alive, they did what only the gods can empower one to do. We must acknowledge, and then we must honor their bravery. They would have run away when bloodied and evil men descended on the land of Biafra. But no. That is a song. I don't know how to sing that song, but I wish I'll be able to play before the end of this program. And it says, if I have to die in the battlefront, please take my boot and give to another soldier. Let another take my boot. You think boot is the only thing? He don't have a gun. These veterans, these heroes and heroines, they don't have a gun. And most of them have access to a boot. Not army boot, because in those days, they call it father and son. We call it puka puka. One shoe that the heel is very, very big. At least it can help you to run in the bush, any place without getting injured. It's safety boot on its own. We must honor their bravery. That with firewood, they hold people with sophisticated weapon. We must honor their bravery. That they knew this war is beyond them, but yet they shone in the wings of courage and bravery. That even till the very dying moment, every one of them walk in the street of Nigeria with their head lifted up, never humiliated by anybody, because they know, irrespective of what you know today, they did their best. These are the group of people to be remembered by Biafrans. Our veterans, we must remember them. A lot of people turned army. We remember the boys' camp. Most of them were 13 years, 12 years, 17 years, male and female alike. They would have been in the kindergarten. Some of them should be sucking breasts, but we lack grown-up men. The enemy that have descended upon us outnumber us like the sand by the seashore, and nobody to call for help. And so he created an avenue where we were forced, our fathers were forced, to introduce an army sector known as the boys' camp. They have to fight. Should they just move on as if it didn't happen? Because Yorubas or Hausas didn't go through this heartbroken encounter? We must remember them today. If you don't know, ask your parents. Tell them, tell me the truth. Or many of them may not tell you the truth. Beg them to tell you the truth. What really happened? Forget about who is at right or who is at fault. We must remember the civilian population. A lot of civilians were caught up in matters they know nothing about and certainly not ready for its outcome. But do they have any choice? Do they have any choice? They died. They died because they're just Biafrans. They died because you are viewed as an infidel. They died because somebody is going to curse you in Yamani. They died. And most of you who are listening to this program, you have such people in your family. I listened to a veteran sometime, not very too long, and he was calling the name of his brother after brother after brother. Of course, Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, is a testament to this fact. And so after the war, most of you were last son. You became the custodians of your family of four. And so at a very tender age, the responsibility of elders were placed upon your shoulder. And now when you think about your greatness and achievement, success in life, understand that the spirit of thousands of our ancestors who gone through this violent, orchestrated, in the concept of one Nigeria, actually help you to get to this level. They never abandon us. They're still with us, even unto the end of time. And of course, the third group that we must remember this very day is the non-Biafrans who identify with us in this very challenge. It is popularly known about late Bruce Marrock of blessed memory. For 20 years, old Columbia University student named Bruce Marrock of Westbury, New York, on May 29, 1969, set himself on fire in front of the United Nations building in New York City to protest the genocide going on in Biafra land. He died the next day, being 30th of May also, 1969. I want to use the issue of Bruce Marrock to make you understand the categories of people we are remembering. Bruce Marrock is about 20 years old. He got access to the wind of genocide going on in Biafra land all the way New York, America. As a member of the Columbia University, a student there, he knew something was wrong. He tried to talk to the United Nations. He tried to talk to the founders of America. I choose not to blame America for the role they played then, because I want to believe they have issues almost beyond their control. That is engagement in the Vietnam War. But this Bruce Marrock felt we can't allow them to kill these people. His action remained a testament to anybody who is against Biafra restoration. Could he have been a madman? Could he have been uninformed young man? Could he have been bribed by us to do what he did? What led to it? He was simply driven by truth. Each time I come on broadcast, acknowledge men and women who are not Biafran but choose to identify with us. Most of us don't know why I do that. There are people who understand our plight. They are not even part of us, but they live in pain and agony. They die on daily basis. They wish they can do something. And I still tell them this morning, wherever they are, we acknowledge your prayers, and our prayers are with you. Bruce Marrock, in an attempt to tell them, help Biafrans, help these people, they are not criminals, help them, they are not animal, help them, their life is threatened, help them. Nobody listened to him in America. And he thought, peradventure, if I set myself on fire, they will do something. He was not stupid. American love her citizen. American first. And he thought they will help him. They did respond to him. He has sustained a very high level degree of fire burnt. That he did not succeed. He didn't make it. He died the next day. It's also 30th of May, 1969. We will remember Bruce Marrock. But he's not the only one. There are a lot of Europeans who came in to help us. They died in the cause. This should give enough reason why our matter, the issue of Biafra, should be reviewed by the global community. We need to remember them. In conclusion, this very morning, we are dedicating this day in their honor. We must not forget that what they did, what made them to die, is still reoccurring. They fought for restructuring. Don't we need restructuring in Nigeria? Some of them died for constitutional amendment. Are we not clamoring for constitutional amendment? Some of them talks about devolution of power, regional autonomy, and of course, ultimate division of Nigeria. Let's not forget that. We cannot also forget that they were denied a home among the living. We cannot afford to deny them a home among the dead. Some of them did not have a home. In fact, their family members have to be killed by the Nigerian military if they get any information that any of their brothers is in the army. They didn't have a home. But then, I keep remembering, Kamanga Bosabu, Kamwan Uruaga. And so most of them lived like fugitives. And some who survived, the majority of them were killed by a firing squad, tagged criminals. And then many more who were strong ran out of Nigeria. The end result today is that anywhere in the world you see our people, actually this is who we are. but something made it to become very obvious. They were denied a home. As we live, let us deny them a home in the land of the dead. And so we must remember them. Their memory cannot be disregarded, but we must live with us even unto eternity. Don't ever delete their memory from your mind. Don't. Let it continue to live with you. Let's remember them for what they have done, for what they present in a time when they should have run to their comfort zone. This is still Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio. And on this note, I will step aside and expect those who want to call in and send a tribute to them to do so politely, to do so with love in their heart, and that love of Biafra, to do what is necessary, because Biafra is our own. We are not going anywhere. We are not in a hurry. This message must continue. The number to call in case you want to send a tribute to them, the direct number is 08065875555. 08065875555. And if you have access to any of my social media platform, you're free to call in. It could be on Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or any other one. The lines are open, and I will be back in a minute.
From the beginning of human history, diabolic people have persistently used God's name to commit heinous atrocities all over the world. Wars become more bloody when religious sentiments are attached. Enemies see each other as abominable infidels that deserve to die. During the Nigeria-Biafra War, atrocities and war crimes were obviously committed, but the international community failed to identify or recognize the ethnic and religious implications. However, the purpose of this work is neither to apportion blames nor criticize anyone, but to preserve history and to let our younger generations who were not born during the struggle know the kind of songs used to boost the morals of the Biafran soldiers.
motherland. Biafra take my boots off when I die. Ojukubeze na la Biafra, edere ya na buri. Awolowo nwanne ya Yakubu Gowon. Ewe ikimeri Biafra, Biafra win the war. Amodu Kasheli machine, heavy artillery, bomb and fighter. Enye Gowon wanting to get my boy we nonu. Enye Gowon wanting to get. Enye Gowon wanting to get my boy we nonu. Enye Gowon wanting to get. Umu Biafra, unekwe kwana Gowon chuno. Unekwe kwana Gowon chuno. Ochichi gesina Ojukwu bia onyeze. Aya chọrọ chichi Gowon ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Ochichi gesina Ojukwu bia onyeze. Aya chọrọ chichi Gowon ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Abụmonye amamihe, abụmonye amamihe. Nne m anyị rapụkwa mụ ma bara onwe mami. Onye hụrụ were akwọcha kechie ya anya. Omeninyo bakweri eri. Omeninyo bakweri eri. Biafra kunye guso Nigeria. Maka gini? Dina bụ ndị na-amaghị Chineke. Ndị na-amaghị Chineke kere ha. Kere ha, kere ha. Komando ebute butere ya komando. Ebute butere ya komando. Ebute butere ya komando. Akwụmigbo beri manoruo Chineke ntị. Ọ dị megwo Ojukwu chibanye. Akwụmigbo beri manoruo Chineke ntị. Ọ dị megwo Ojukwu chibanye. Nwoke mara mma chibanye. Ndị ahụ ọnụ chibanye. Ọ dị megwo Ojukwu chibanye.
Most of the Biafra war songs aimed derogative invectives on the Nigerian government of oligarchy, who directed the killing of innocent Biafran women and children by imposing blockade on Biafra. All human contact with the outside world was cut off. Hence, the Nigerian military junta added hunger to the already existing weapons of mass destruction in their arsenal. Neither food nor medicine were allowed into Biafra. Hence, malnutrition begot kwashiorkor, also known as Harold Wilson's syndrome.
We are Biafrans fighting for our freedom. By the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. Hey. We are Biafrans fighting for our freedom. By the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. Iko Biafra fighting for our freedom. By the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. We are Biafrans fighting for our freedom. By the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. setokwala Biafra chetekwa n'Enugu setokwala Biafra chetekwa n'Ọnịcha setokwala Biafra enyi onye mbụzọ ga-abụ onye ikpeazụ nna Chukwu ekwena onye mbụzọ ga-abụ onye ikpeazụ nna Chukwu ekwena anyị na-aga n'iru ịlaghachi azụ bụ ọnwụ anyị na-aga n'iru ịlaghachi azụ bụ ọnwụ.
Yes, of course. This program continues. One or two challenges with the network connectivity, but then do not relent. Keep on trying, and hopefully the network will be restored. But then we must continue. The lines are still open, and you are free to call it, make your contribution, your tribute to the fallen heroes of and heroine of Biafra. Continue trying to access the platform with just one or two issues, but it will be resolved any moment. The direct line is up and running, just the other social media platform that will having challenges. But do not relent, continue making your call. We must remember them. Today is the 30th of May. We must remember our own.
Go and see Emenamumeye Ojukwu Agamaga Ojukwu Iyoya Mbagharo Ikagwuna Munamibo Giwe Meri Agamaga Ojukwu Iyoya Mbagharo Ikagwuna Munamibo Giwe Meri
Yes, my brother, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good morning from here. Yeah, good morning from here.
Good morning, my brother, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for the good work you are doing. I still remain your brother Chidera Adiogele from Akanitem in Umuahia province. It's a day of remembrance, it's a day of commemorate of our fallen hero. There's nothing we can play with it. Dear ONYIBE, the work you're doing is very wonderful one. I just want to air my own opinion for today. Today is all about Biafra. It's all about our freedom. It's all about people, our brothers and sisters that sacrifice their life. They put their life first so that we may live. Because you mentioned a lot of things. The situation of Nigeria is the way they have to deal with our own brothers in their own politics. That is why it's very, very good for us to go back to the grassroots and think about our own territory, to have an effective governance in our land, to secure our territory, to make our territory to be a safer side, a place that we may have peace. Because of having peace, that's why they sacrifice their life so that we will have that peace, and that peace we're still seeking for that peace. And only when all of us understand, then that peace will reign in our land. We need to remember them because they have paid a huge price. They have paid a huge price for 3 years. They did a wonderful thing to make sure that our name will not be obsolete. and we must continue to remember them every time like this. We cannot run away or shy away, because there's a lot of things that we need to do to make sure that they rest in peace. That is why they are doing everything they are doing. That is why we are all over the world to remember them. We must keep remembering them. We must keep honoring them until the day the Biafra flag, even after the Biafra flag rise, we must always commemorate them, because they pay a huge price for this, for the quest of our freedom. I know there will be another program for the prayer, but I just want to call in because it's a day of commemoration. It's a day of commemoration. It's a day for them. Today is their day for heavy sacrifice they pay so that we must get what we want. And we will continue, not by gun and bullet again, but by in a peaceful way, in a peaceful manner, in a way we will get what we want. Thank you, Diokpa, for having me.
Thank you
for
very
doing
much.
This wonderful program.
Thank you very much. And of course, that is the voice of my brother, Audio Guinea. And I must tell you, a very humble brother. As far as this struggle is concerned, I cherish him. The lines are still open. You're free to call in and send your tribute to them. The journey has just continued. We are not going anywhere. And be rest assured, we are not in a hurry. Yes, sir, of course, I'm joined by two call at the same time. Can you hear me?
Good morning from London.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Okompol Okoronkwo. I'm from Alai in Bende, Umuahia province of Biafra land. I thank you for coming up early this morning for this program. We must remember our fallen heroes. I was a child of the Civil War. I was born in 1966. I witnessed the war in a childhood eye. I didn't know what is going on. Only what I know is we keep on running up and down, going to the bush and coming out. I remember those from my village, my town, who lost their lives. I used today to remember them as well. And all the Biafran soldiers, women, children, civilians who lost their lives because of this genocidal war of 1967-1970, which haven't even stopped at the moment. It's still ongoing. Remember, after the war, 1970, in a village in Alai called Amokwe Item, all the young men were gathered and shoot. All the young men were gathered and shot by the Nigerian army when they have said the war have ended. Up to today, it's still going on. Mazi ONYIBE, this your program. You have hit the nail on the head. Every day of your program, you have never changed. You keep educating Biafrans. My solidarity goes to the dead and not the living. At the moment, we will keep on fighting, we keep on struggling, we keep on agitating until the last day. Biafra will raise the flag back again, and we will hand over the mantleship to the younger generation. Our thoughts are with the families of the loved ones who love their member of the family. In my town, there is no family that didn't lose someone to the genocidal war. So today we are remembering them. Our prayers goes to their soul, never to rest. Wherever they are, they should keep on fighting. We left behind, we are here and we must continue. There is no atom of distractions. There is nothing will distract us from this cause. We must continue and continue from where they stop. Thank you, ONYIBE. I still remain Paul Okoronkwo, residing in London. When the time comes for leaving the number, for those who want to join this Biafra Nation Alliance and Biafra de facto government comes, let me know. I will announce my number. But for now, I pray for the fallen heroes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother, Master Paul Okenkwo. And of course, the line is still open. This is the moment to pay triple for
my father. Don't you worry.
Triple to fallen heroes and heroines. We continue.
Go and see Ojuku. Agamaga Kurojuku. Iyoya Mbagaro. Ikabuna Muna Mibogi Wemeri. Agamaga Kurojuku. Iyoya Mbagaro. Ikabuna Muna Mibogi Wemeri.
Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you, sir.
We'll go back to the point.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir. I really thank God for the good work you are doing. And I'm minding that I'm not too much comfortable for where I am because I'm at work, but I will not afford to miss this opportunity. For the fact that I was not aware when the thing happened, but I still had the stories. I'm also a victim of the circumstance because, as my mom told me when she was alive, her first son was taken by that war. Whether it's the Biafran people abducted him or the Nigeria troops, I don't know. But up to today, nobody sees him again, which means that we are involved in the case. That's all the stories that we have had. I didn't know when the war was fought, but anytime I hear about the stories of what happened, my heart melts because it affected me. I don't know who or where that my brother would have been if he's alive today. If there's nothing like that genocidal war, he would have still been alive now. And my parents, when they were alive, they never stopped talking about it when they were late. So today we are here to remember them and thank God that has made them to be alive. Made them to be alive then and fought for us and later went to rest with the Lord. I pray that their death will be of good happenings to us because they fought for our existence today. No matter that the Nigerian government did not remember them, and they don't even want us to remember them as well, but I know God himself and our ancestors, of which they themselves are part of it today, they will avenge their deaths. All those people that killed them without any cause, they will never see peace and they will never know peace. Even those of them that did it then that are still alive as you listed them, They may think that is life they are living, but they are already living dead. It would have been better for them to go and join their colleagues there than they are living, because that life they are living will never be a meaningful life for them because of the evil, the pains they cost on us. And today we are still passing through the same pain. They could not allow us to rest. They could not allow us to drink water and drop the cup. Why? Let me not just digress or to mention anything that we're supposed not to mention to. We are just here to remember their death. And I promise and know that the Chukwukika Biama, who is in heaven, will not allow their death to be in vain. The purpose to which they died, and we are still dying today because of the same purpose, will not be in vain. I would advise our oppressors for them to sit and reason and say, why is it that these people are still going on and on and on to fight for this thing? And let them have a rethink and call everybody to be on round the table and talk and do the needful. Because there's no way they will suppress that agitation, that it will not continue. It may be by coded or in any form they want it, but it must continue following the legal way or means of doing it. It will continue. Like you said, every other tribe in the country are proud to mention their name, and nobody does anything to them. Why are they so much against this name or this we as a people? If there's any way we have offended them, either unknowingly or knowingly, why won't they talk and call on us and tell us, okay, look at your offense? They have been using all flimsy excuses and blackmailing and propaganda and using it to subjugate us into the unnecessary hardship that is uncalled for. So I pray that God in heaven, with his infinite mercy, will still go to the heart of all those who oppress us and touch them and teach them the right thing to do, and then we come up and do it, so that this spilling of blood will stop in our country. Because the Creator himself is not happy with the name or the country again, because they are always taking the life that they did not create. None of them created any of all those lives that they have been taking. Now it appears as if spilling of blood is a normal thing, or is a culture now in the country, which is supposed not to be so. So I really thank you for bringing out your time to come and educate us this morning. We will continue. We go nowhere. We must keep on watching. As a watchman, we keep on praying till when our nation will be restored. That's the only time that the spirit of our slain heroes and heroines will rest. If the nation has not been restored, their spirit will never rest. It will continue to be causing one commotion or the other, even to the camp of our enemy. And I pray that God Almighty will help us to start getting things right this time around. I thank you, Diokpa, because this is morning. I'm a little bit busy, but I just squeeze out this little time to come and appreciate you and greet you for the good work you are doing for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Continue, keep on keeping on, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. That is the voice of Agunwanye. We continue to ensure that their death is never in vain. This is still Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station. Still on the Biafra Memorial Day, a day specially set aside to remember our fallen heroes and heroines. And so if you are Biafra anywhere around the world, it does not matter your affiliation. If your father died, your brother died, anybody died, I encourage you, do the right thing. And of course, on this note, I will be signing off temporarily, but still be back. We're not going anywhere.
The ebullient voice of Okokondem of Radio Biafra and other sincere-hearted people all over the world vociferously vented their dislike of the killing of the Biafran children Russian and Egyptian pilots, under the auspices of the Nigerian military junta, continued their vicious aerial attack.
Yes, I think at this moment, sorry, I have a caller on WhatsApp. Let's try and take this call and see how it goes. Yes, a caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Good morning, my brother. This is Uchenna Okinkwo, calling from Atlanta, Georgia, USA.
You're welcome to the program, my brother.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being on the air today to commemorate the death memory of our fallen heroes or heroines. Today is the day that every Biafra around the globe is set aside to remember our fallen heroes or heroines. First of all, I want to speak in my dialect because that's the language of heaven, the language that our ancestors are known. Chukwu okike. Eze nke bi n'igwe. Onye a na-akpọ ka onye isi, onye eze, onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa. Kelee. A na-asị mama dịrị gị, a na-asị otuto dịrị gị. Na-akpọ ka ndị eze, ndị ngede, ndị ọzọ. Nne nne anyị ebe unu nọ. A na-eji aka n'ụtụtụ a na-asụ unu ememe. A na-echeta unu ọma niile nyere anyị. Mana ọ bụ because of unu nwa ka anyị ji nọrọ ata. Mana ọ bụghị unu nwa anyị ga-anọ ebe anyị. Unu nwa chetara anyị. Unu nwa gara alụ ọgụ. A na-asụ n'echeta unu. Biko, a na-asụ unu chebe anyị. Chebe anyị ebe ndị iro anyị gbara anyị gburugburu. Unu ekwere ka ha gbuchie anyị. Biko, a nọ na unu lụrụ ọgụ. Ọgụ na ụlọ ọgụ ziri ezi. Unu ka na-alụkwa bido taa. A na-asa ncheta unu. Ete ebe na-agba anyị gburugburu. Ndị igbu anyị. Betara anyị ikike nwere. Because Chukwu okike kekere anyị. Chukwu abịama kekere anyị. Nwanne anyị. Ọ ga-echefu anyị. Ọ ga-ekwe ka ndị iro gba anyị gburugburu. Ọ ga-ekwe ka ndị iro anyị gbuchie anyị. So taa ka anyị cheta unu. Ụmụnne anyị ndị ntakịrị nke nwụrụ n'oge agha. A na-echeta unu taa. Kata unu bịa lụọ anyị ọgụ a. Mana mmụọ na mmadụ. A na-ekele unu. A na-asụ unu bịa. A ga-echefu ihe unu mere anyị. A ga-echefu ihe unu mere anyị. Maka na ọnwụ nwa nyere anyị ikike anyị ji pụta taa. So a ga-echefu ihe mere anyị na. A ga-echefu unu ụbara kwafu. Biko, a na-ekele unu ebe unu nọ. So my brothers and sisters around the world, those of you that didn't listen, that didn't hear the language of Igbo language, I thank you so much for listening this morning to this day, the day of commemoration, the day of remembrance of our fallen heroes and heroines. I want to thank all of you for making time to remember our fallen heroes and heroines. Jokba, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank all our brothers and sisters around the world. It's not about who we are. It's not about who I am, who anybody is. It's about Biafra, the land of our ancestors, the land given to us by Chukwukika Biam. So I want to thank every one of you listening this morning. May Chukwukika continue to be and guide all of us until the day Biafra will be restored fully, and we will rejoice in the street of Biafra with all our ancestors, with all our fallen heroes and heroines. So therefore, thank you so much. May God continue to bless you and bless all Biafrans around the world. Thank you.
Amen. And you too, my brother. The truth cannot be emphasized. We continue doing what we know is necessary and ought to be done. I will be closing this segment this moment, and of course, in a few minutes from now, I will still come back. Don't go anywhere, most especially when you are a Biafran or you are a lover of freedom. I appreciate those of you who are able to call into this segment. My brother Ojo Guinea, all the way from South Africa, and of course followed by Maze Paul Okum all the way from the United Kingdom, and of course Ago Mwanye all the way from Ebonyi State, and my humble brother Dr. Chimokenkwo all the way from America. And I'm glad at least from within the African and the global community, our people understand what do they represent. It's very important. We must keep remembering them. I sign off temporarily from here, but then the program continue. Ndewuno.
Under the auspices of the Nigerian military junta, continued their vicious aerial attack on Biafra, dumping powerful bombs into Biafran schools, churches, markets, refugee camps, and hospitals, killing hungry and sick Biafran children. Today, we hear of Armed Forces Remembrance Day, but not even an hour is set aside to remember thousands of Biafran children who died as a result of hunger orchestrated by the blockade and as a result of bombs dropped by the fiendish Egyptian and Russian pilots fighting for the Nigerian military junta.